Hello, welcome everyone to FMC. I'm Jeremy. This is SP3. What's going on, buddy?
Woke up.
Did you stay up and watch the game? Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah. Even when it got even when it got really, really bad, I kept watching it. I tried to just go to sleep on the couch with it playing in the background, but it was a haunting nightmare. And I woke up this morning thinking, oh man, I guess that was a nightmare. And then I see your tweet saying we're going to talk about how the Clippers sweep the Lakers. So it wasn't a nightmare. Glad to find out.
I had full intentions to watch this game, and I did up until midway through the third quarter when the Clippers took a 20-point lead, and I'm like, I ain't sticking around for the rest of this. I've seen enough of this Lakers team this year to where I don't need to watch this game anymore. I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen, and I woke up and I checked the score this morning, and it was about a 20-point victory, so I didn't miss much in the final quarter and a half there.
Just Reggie Jackson, sticking the dagger deeper and deeper, crossing over Westbrook like it's funny, and doing the pick and roll with Westbrook and LeBron and hitting the three in LeBron's eye. It was just what type of I put out the tweet and I'm officially calling it. Take the Lakers out back. Pulled the trigger. It's over. It's the season. I'm calling the season. There's 20 more games. No, we're not playing anymore. Obviously, by what we saw last night, we're not even playing anymore. So I'm calling the season. I'm not gonna be watching anymore. I'm not gonna stay up late anymore. I'm hurting myself. My kids wake up at 5 a.m. and I have to stay up till 1 a.m. to see the Lakers play like this.
That's why I had to call a game. These games don't start until 10. I get up at 6 o'clock every morning. I can't be staying up until 1 trying to watch this team and just to say the same things we got to say every week, SV3. There's Reggie Jackson had 36 points, by the way. Fuck Reggie Jackson. I know I say that about a lot of players on this show, but fuck Reggie Jackson. How is this man constantly killing Russell Westbrook? And really, he's playing great, bless him, but he's constantly killing the Lakers. What would you trade for Reggie Jackson right now? How many first round picks would the Lakers have to attach to a Westbrook for Reggie Jackson trade?
At least 2 now. At least 2. We started off the season with, you can probably do it straight up, and they would be like, oh, we gotta steal. The Clippers would have been like, we gotta steal. But at this point, with the way Westbrook has played with the team, yes, the box score looks great, Reggie Miller, but no, when you watch the game, it just doesn't work. The chemistry is not there. People like LeBron just don't even look like he want to play. I feel like he tries to get his numbers, but he's not really trying to play the game of basketball, especially when they get down, when they're just defensively lazy. And that 30 to 6 run, that's what I had to watch. It was like torture.
Does the box score look great for Russell Westbrook? These last couple of games, he had 12 points on 17 shots. Last night, what was the box score for him?
It was bad last night.
Last night it was 17 points on 16 shots. That's a little bit better. 8 rebounds, 3 assists, only 2 turnovers.
That was
low
good.
For Russell Westbrook.
For him, it's just that third quarter. Just our defense is just done. At this point, man, you may have to salvage the season by firing Frank Vogel. If you're a defensive team and you play like that. And it's continuous. It's happened in multiple different games.
This is the issue that I've had with the Lakers is they go into the trade deadline. They know they need to make moves. They do absolutely nothing. At some point, you have to show a sign of life and just do something. Yes. DJ Augustine, bless him. That's probably not the move you need to make. Cutting DeAndre Jordan was a serviceable move. That was actually, it showed, okay, yeah, we see that this isn't working. Let's release him. But this roster's already bad. Cutting DeAndre Jordan ain't going to make that big of a splash. And at least if you made a trade at the deadline, it would show, hey, we're trying to do something. At least if you fire Frank Vogel, I don't think this is a move that's going to like save the season or anything, but it shows like, hey, we're trying to do something. We're trying to send some type of message. The stuff that doing absolutely nothing and then, oh, yeah, we're just going to let DeAndre Jordan go after he barely plays anymore at this point. We're going to bring in DJ Augustine. It's like these are not moves of a team that is like trying to send any type of message. These are moves of a team of like, hey, let's just maybe figure something out and hope this works, but we really have no idea of anything we're trying to do.
It's basically where it's like a three-legged race and the other person is dead and we're dragging the body to the finish line. That's how the season has been with us. Like we have been on just like one leg or two legs, like not enough legs. There's not enough legs for us. We just aren't playing well together. We don't play defense. We give up. We go on runs and then we give it right back. Like last night, like we made a run at the end of the second quarter and I'm just like, all right, this is gonna be a game. It's only a 3-point game at halftime, and then they just completely smacked us right back down in the third quarter. And this has happened on multiple different occasions. I'm sick of being here on Friday mornings and having to talk about the Lakers at this point. There's no excuses for my Lakers. I'm done with it. I'm pulling the trigger. The panic level has exceeded everything. Like there's no number for it. It's past 100, so I'm done with it. It's 20 games to go.
Do they make the playoffs? I've really thought about this. Like they're there. They're in the play-in game right now. And by the playoffs, I mean the play-in. Like they're not getting a top 6 seed to secure their playoff spot. I mean the play-in spot. Like do they make the play-in spot? Right now they're 9th. The Pelicans, who beat them, by the way, who smacked them around. Like the Pelicans beat them. The Blazers, they're only 2 games up on the Blazers. The Blazers are actively trying to tank, and they're 2 games up on them. The Spurs, they're 2.5 up on them, they're 3.5 up on them. The Spurs can like kind of get a run. I don't think the Spurs are that good, but they might be able to piece together a little bit of a run. Lakers apparently got the second hardest schedule left. They're 2-8. In their last 10. 2-8 SB3? How? You have LeBron James.
With LeBron James. That's how bad things have gotten. That LeBron James, it don't matter what numbers he put up. He put up a record of the oldest player to have 20 points in 26 straight games. And yet it doesn't make a difference. We're just pitiful at this point. And there's nothing that LeBron at 37 years old can do to drag us up.
It's rough. There's really not much more to say about the Lakers, honestly.
There's nothing for me to say. I have no excuses. There's no optimism from me this week. No. After what I saw last night, there is no optimism. Yes, the head of the Laker Nation here on Fightful Overbook. No, I'm waving the white flag, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for me to move on. I will continue watching basketball because I love basketball, but I don't love watching to see my team suffer like this. I know how Knicks fans, like me and Knicks fans, talk to each other now, and we have civil conversations because the Knicks fans is like, I don't know how this feels. Like the Lakers suck as much as us, but I can't talk trash because we suck too. I was like, I know for years y'all have been able to suck. And we've been successful, and y'all still been able to talk trash about us. But now, and we've been good, and y'all been trash. And I live in New York, so I love talking trash to Knicks fans. Now we're at a place where we just like, man, it's tough watching basketball. Man, I agree with you. Yes. It's just a civil conversation now.
It's bad when Lakers and Knicks fans are getting along. It's not good.
It's not at
all. Anything else in the NBA? Have you watched Harden and Embiid kind of destroy everybody? That looks scary. They haven't played anybody where I'm like, okay. Like they played a couple games against the Knicks. We just mentioned the Knicks. Like they ain't that good. Yeah. They played the Timberwolves, and that was the first game. The Timberwolves, they're playing better, but that first game was they were gonna get that first game Harden boost. I'm interested when they do play a good team. Right now, though, that combination looks very deadly, and I'd be worried if I was any team in the East.
I've been saying this for weeks. Ever since the trade went down, I was like, they are going to be a problem here. Like I said, the Bucks is probably the best overall team, and they're the defending champions. You got the Heat and the Bulls playing exceptional basketball, but the Sixers with this pickup, this is what people have said for years. Embiid needed. He needed a ball handler who had a long range shot, who can hit the three, so he can take the double team and pick it back out. And they look like they are perfecting that. They're doing the pick and roll. They're looking good together. Harden actually looks like he's actually trying on defense. So that's a lot for him. So I'll take it. But yeah, this is a team that I feel that has the potential to at least make it to the conference finals. And depending on the matchup, they could make it to the NBA finals.
They play Cleveland tonight. Cleveland's a good team. They've come off a couple of rough games, but Cleveland's good. That'll be an interesting game to see how they do against an actual good team. Again, the Minnesota game, they're always going to get the boost. 2 games against the Knicks. It's the Knicks. But Cleveland's a good team. I think, let me see who else they play after that. I feel like they have the Heat coming up
that's
as well. Yeah, they have Miami. So it's a back-to-back. They have Cleveland tonight, and then they have Miami, Chicago, and then Brooklyn, and who knows where Brooklyn's going to be. But Kyrie will be Kyrie will be able to play. It's in Philadelphia, so Kyrie will play. Okay. Durant's back. I don't know if Simmons is going to be back for that game, but it's a good 4-game stretch for them. Yeah. So I think we'll learn a lot about the Harden and Embiid combo in this 4-game stretch.
Yeah, for sure. KD was looking good in his first game back. He got 31. So the East is honestly, in my eyes, I think it's going to be a more interesting and intriguing playoffs than the West. I feel like the West, no matter how much we want to say, I think it is going to pretty much come down to the Suns and the Warriors with the Memphis Grizzlies. And I can't really throw anybody else into that conversation because I don't believe in the Jazz.
A healthy Nuggets team is scary. Yeah. I know the Nuggets just lost to the Thunder, and I was honestly upset at that loss or at that win. Like, I'm trying to lose as many games as possible. But like a healthy Nuggets team, and I don't know what that looks like because Murray wouldn't have played basketball for pretty much an entire year. Michael Porter Jr., he's been out for more or less the entire season. Jokic is obviously playing great. I don't know what a fully healthy Nuggets team like looks like because a couple guys got to play them. Their 2 and 3 best players got to get themselves back into work and everything. But assuming that team is healthy, firing on the cylinders that we think they can fire on, that's a scary team in the playoffs. A healthy Warriors team, I still kind of favor them because Draymond, he clearly means a lot to that team because that team don't look the same without Draymond, especially on defense. The Suns, yes, they're going to be there, especially if Chris Paul is there. I like the Grizzlies. I'm worried that they might just be a little too young. It might be a little too soon. Like they're a year away from making the impact that they probably need to make. I'm not writing off the Mavericks. I'm not writing off because I'm not writing off Luka. Like that's a bad dude right there. Like the Porzingis trade is so weird in that it didn't look like it was something they should have done. But now it's almost like an afterthought. Like, oh, yeah, they had Porzingis and now they don't. And like they're still fine. And Luka, that's a dude, like, he's going to be the best player on the floor in any series. And I don't say that lightly because he could go up against Steph Curry. And I'm taking Luka in those games. Like, any series, he's the best player on the floor in the West. I think he's the best player in the West right now. I think it's Luka. So that's why I'm not right. If you have the best player on the floor, you're always going to have a chance. So I'm not fully writing off the Mavericks. I'm not.
I'm clapping for that because I agree. Luka is better than Jokic. Yeah, I've been getting heat since last time where I said Jokic. But I've been hearing analysts echo what I'm saying. Like Jokic has had a great season, but he's not my top 2 MVP candidates. I would honestly, at this point where we are now, I would put John Moran ahead of him. I would put Giannis ahead of him. So I mean, DeRozan, it's an up in the air type of thing. I have DeRozan at 5th, Jokic at 4th, and then of course number 1 is Joel Embiid. So, but I agree. Luka overall, especially when we get to the playoffs, he's going to be the best player. I just don't believe in the Mavericks until they win a playoff series. Like I've seen them play well in the regular season. I've seen Luka is a beast. And if we are doing a draft and me and Jeremy are GMs, I'm taking Luka number one. If I get the number one pick, I'm always going to pick Luka because he's young and he's one of the best players in the league. He can be your guy for the next couple of years. So yeah, I agree with you, but I need to see them win in the playoffs. That's what it all comes down to with the Mavericks. And it's similar to like the Jazz. Like I've seen them make it far, make it to the second round, but I haven't seen them make it past there. So I don't believe in them. The Nuggets, they aren't really healthy. So, and without a healthy Murray, I don't think they have a chance to make it far again to the conference finals like they did last time. So it really comes down to those top three teams where Memphis is an unknown. I haven't seen them fail. So that's like I said, like I feel like they have the best chance of being that third team, but it's really like the Suns look like they are going to be in the conference finals at the very least. Warriors have to get it together and they need a healthy team to kind of make it far, but Memphis Grizzlies, I feel like, are good defensively and offensively. They're explosive, and John Morant's having an exceptional season. So that's why I think Memphis is the unknown of it all in the West.
They definitely are. And Ja, I think he's got another gear in the playoffs too. And that's kind of a scary sign. I worry with Memphis, and this might sound mean to me. Steven Adams in the playoffs is where I worry because he's I've seen this story, SV3. I've seen this story with Steven Adams. Great in the regular season, defensive anchor in the regular season, and it all looks good. And then in the playoffs, you can expose that guy. And I love Steven Adams. He's been great for Memphis. He's very good on that team. But I've seen him get exposed in the playoffs, especially recently, the bubble season, and then a couple seasons before that. And there was a lot of things wrong with the bubble season OKC team. That team probably should have beat that Rockets team. But before that, there was a lot more wrong with those teams than just Steven Adams. But I've seen you can kind of scheme him out, and I wonder how that's going to work. I think they can probably play Jaren Jackson as a small ball five, and then might be able to get away with things. I just wonder if the coach has to make that decision. And I've seen it. This is what happened in the bubble with OKC. Is the better move would have been playing Darius Bazley as a small ball five against the Rockets, and instead it's like, oh, we trust Adams. He's the veteran and everything. It's tough to pull those veteran guys off the floor when they've been so good for you in the regular season. And that's just a tough decision you got to make in the playoffs. And it's up to the Memphis coach to make that decision. So that's where I worry about Memphis is I think they might just be a good regular season team for right now. And then in the playoffs, I get schemed a little bit. But I love Ja, and I think he has another level in the playoffs, which is very scary. The Suns, Money Mark says it's all about Chris Paul being healthy. It really is. Like if Chris Paul is healthy, that team's probably going back to the finals, unless the Warriors are healthy. I'm not writing off the Warriors if they're healthy. Like Draymond, Clay, Steph, Wiggins is the fourth guy at that point. Like that's a really good basketball team when healthy. The loss of Draymond, fuck Draymond Green, but that's a big loss. I said it in 2016. My friend and I, when OKC was playing the Warriors, and we always do these like hypothetical things, and they're like, if the Warriors just like had one player hurt, this is very mean of us. Like if the Warriors had one player hurt, like who would you want it to be? And he's like, well, Steph. Like you take Steph out, they're just kind of fucked, right? I'm like, I would want Draymond hurt. Like I want Draymond out of the series. Like, yeah, Steph and Clay can go off and everything, but Draymond, their defense would fall apart. Steph and Clay aren't going to quite get the looks they would previously. Like that's the guy who makes that engine run. And it's been proven a lot this season because anytime he's been down, the team has fallen off on both ends of the floor. So if he's healthy, I wouldn't write them off against the Suns.
Yeah, Draymond is definitely the glue guy of that Warriors team. He's the guy that leads the defense. He's their vocal leader as well, and that's like a lot of the mental thing. Like, Steph is a leader on the floor because he's one of the best players in the league, but we don't see that really with like Clay. So Steph kind of needs that kind of like dog by him. Like you got the pristine leader, but yeah, you don't have the dog that is Draymond Green. So I feel like he's kind of the glue of that team. So yeah, I do agree with you. They're not going to be the same, and they're not going to make it far into the playoffs without Draymond. I see Clay is getting healthy, and he's been playing well as of late, but they're not playing well as a team. So it's just been breaking apart for them. But I think Memphis might move up. It might move up to at least the number 2 seed because of the Warriors falling off with this injury.
I mean, they got a shot. They're one back in the loss column right now, but it doesn't look like the Warriors are like improving at this point. And Memphis is, if nothing else, they've been rather consistent this season. They definitely have a shot at the 2 seed. It wouldn't surprise me. The Warriors, it really is just about health for them. Like, I don't think they're too worried about their seeding. As long as they get into the playoffs healthy, they probably like their chances against any team. And I like their chances against any team if they get in healthy.
Yeah, I said this at the beginning of the season. I had them as like a 5th seed or a 4th seed, but I had them still making it to like the conference finals or something like that. So they have all the potential to be the NBA champions this year.
In the East, I'm just looking. It's still pretty much the same when it comes to the East. So here's a debate me and my friend were having, and we had it a little bit last year, and I want to toss to you. There's a couple of hypotheticals we kind of did. So the first one is, are you taking Ja or Trey? Like you're starting a team. It's completely fresh. You don't know who your number 2 guy is, by the way. Maybe I'll throw a hypothetical of like who the number 2 guy would be. It wouldn't be like John Collins or Jaren Jackson because we've seen both those guys play. Your number 2 guy is, let's say, like Julius Randle. Okay, your number 2 guy is Julius Randle.
Okay.
Are you taking Ja or Trey?
Julius Randle. Probably I'm taking Trey. That's only a situational thing. It's only because it's Julius Randle and you want
Okay. Take Randle out of the equation. Just like you're starting a team
straight
from
up.
scratch.
Oh,
Yeah,
then I'm taking Ja. I'm taking Ja because I feel like
Really?
I feel like he's more I feel like he has the potential to be really great on both ends of the court. Whereas Trey is going to be a great offensive player. I don't know overall throughout his career how he's going to be defensively. I haven't seen anything that really jumps out to me that says he's going to be a great defensive player. While Ja, I do see that, and that has a lot of leadership qualities as well to go along with it. And he has seen, like, he hasn't had the playoffs that Trey had, a couple of years ago. But he definitely has shown that he steps his game up. Like you said, he goes to another level in the postseason. So I think I'm going to go with Ja.
See, I'm not mad at anybody that picks Ja Morant, especially after the season that he's had. And Money Mark says a bigger and better defender. Yeah, like Trey's just never going to be a good defender. It's not going to happen. Ja certainly has the tools. Memphis's defense, I believe, is worse with him on the floor. Like when he was out, their defense got much better. So I'm not saying Ja is like some elite defender. I think he could be. I do worry there's a little bit of Westbrook there, and like he has the tools to be a great defender, but he does so much offensively that he's not just gonna like really exert it 100% of the time, which is fine. I think people really discount how good Trae Young is. Like it's a garbage team. I realize defensively he is a big problem there, but his numbers offensively, people write this guy off, man. He's still an elite shooter. He's still an elite playmaker. I think if you're taking Trae, it can be very Steph-like. Like you got to really build a defense around this guy. I think you can, when it comes to Ja, like there's more pieces that fit around him. You don't have to totally go with, okay, I need to go like all in on defense. You can you have more people you can pluck from as far as your talent pool. Whereas if you're going Trae, you really got to be mindful of like, all right, I need like good defenders and good shooters. I just don't write off Trey like everybody else has. I know the Hawks aren't good this year. They picked up a big victory last night, by the way, against the Bulls. But like I know they haven't been good this year. I don't think it's this big gap that like everyone seems to make it out to be this season.
No, I don't think there's a big gap between those players at all. Like I said, I just feel like Ja potentially, and not right now, but potentially can become a great defender and be like an all defensive player, while Trey is going to be maybe an all NBA player. He's going to be a 30-point scorer, but he ain't going to do that on defense. So it depends on, which player. Like you said, if you had Julius Randle, I was like, maybe I would put Trae Young over Ja Morant. But if it's just straight up right now, I have both players in front of me, I'm going to take Ja because I feel like he can do more.
And that's fair. Like I'm not mad. I'm not mad at anybody that picks Ja Morant. I'm a little hurt by the Trae Young disrespect this season. I don't even know why. Like
like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a Knicks fan. I live in New York, so Trae Young is one of my favorite players in the league. But they did to the Knicks. Oh man, you don't know how upset I was when they celebrated one playoff win. I was like, you know how embarrassing it is to be from New York, like especially if you're a Laker fan in New York and you see that. Like in LA, they celebrate championships. They have parades for championships. They don't have parades for one win in the goddamn play. Oh, we haven't been here in a while. It's been 8 years.
SP3 is dropping the GD. Where's the swear jar? Everybody?
It's been 8 years. You know how long Sacramento's been waiting? I guarantee you Sacramento is not going to have the Jamaican Day Parade outside of their arena if they win a playoff game. They're going to wait till they win a series at least.
I think they're gonna hang a banner. They won one playoff game.
Yeah, they'll hang a banner. That's what they will do. They ain't gonna have a damn parade in front of the freaking arena. That was embarrassing.
I love Trey. I think he's great. I want that guy on my team. That dude can do so much offensively. Defensively, yeah he sucks. Money Mark says he needs his Clay. Like they kind of thought Kevin Huerter was that guy, and he's not. That team, like they caught some breaks last year, obviously. But that team really fell off this year. And I don't think it's too surprising because I don't think anybody thought they were like conference finals good again. Yeah. It is a little surprising just how bad they fell off, because I thought they'd at least be like back in that like 4 to 6 spot. And they're gonna get in. I think they'll get into the play-in game. I think they're better than Washington. If they can't if they can't beat Washington, then they got some issues. But defensively, that team is an absolute mess.
Yeah, I think I had them maybe 5th or 6th because I had the Nets, I had the Bucks, I had the Heat, Sixers somewhere in there. So it was like the Hawks was like right behind those teams. So no, hasn't worked out. But screw my preseason rankings. I had the Lakers at number 1. So
Kendrick Perkins had him winning 70 games. I don't think you went that high on him.
Yeah, I wasn't that high on them. I knew it would be a learning curve. I knew it would start off rough.
They're still learning.
I didn't expect
they
60 games in.
They need to summer school. They need after school. They don't even need to go home. They need to live at the school. That's how much they need to learn, SP3.
They need nonstop tutoring, around the clock tutoring. Oh man,
they can't even sleep. They just got to keep learning, because I don't know if they're ever going to be caught up.
They need a cheat sheet. They need to write the plays on their wrist so they know what to do.
They need the water bottle with the answers written inside of it. You ever pull that trick in school where you would take the label off the water bottle and write it on there so you could see what it was? I would keep the answers. Oh, go ahead.
They need Michael's secret stuff. That's what they need. You talk about water bottles. They need Michael's secret stuff. I'm sorry.
I would take the answers on the calculator, the T83, whatever. Do you use that? The graphing calculator? You could type on that thing. So we'd put the answers on that. That's how I would cheat in school. Giving out secrets to everybody. Yeah, look, man, you got Bill Belichick, right? What Cartman teach us? You got to cheat. What Eddie Guerrero teach us? You got to cheat, man. All right. I don't care. You got to cheat.
We should mute you. You said Eddie Guerrero. That's a wrestling reference.
Oh shit! All right.
Yes, it's happened, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is the piece that I have right now because he uttered the name of a wrestler. It's great.
I gotta abide by my own rules. I gotta mute myself if I do that. The call up says we just having a bad year. Next year, Lakers taking the jet. Come on. With who? With who?
You know what? I am going to be like that. I'm going to be like that in the off season. We make one move, and I'm going to be like, "Yo, the Lakers is back." You're going to see all the tweets, all the Lake Show tweets that I put out. But not right now. I ain't that the call up. I'm sorry.
They're going to have an older LeBron James. I'm sure he's still going to be great, but they're going to have an older LeBron James. Anthony Davis ain't getting healthy. Like, I'm sorry. That man...
You got to trade AD at this point.
I don't know if they're going to do that, but like
I think
that man ain't going to be healthy. I don't know what you're getting for Russell Westbrook because he's opting into that contract. He ain't opting out. So that's a big contract you're going to somehow have to trade. It's tradable. He's been traded 5 times in the past 3 seasons. So it's tradable, but you got to attach picks to that. I don't know if they're willing to do that. I don't know what. I'm sure the Lakers have some type of master plan. LeBron will have lunch with somebody and convince him to come there and think it's all great. He'll convince D-Wade to come out of retirement. It's like, yeah, live in L.A. Gabriel's out here. I think he's actually in Miami, but like, it'll be good, man. Everybody will be like, oh, man, Wade, LeBron. Who else is LeBron friends with? Whoever a Clutch client is, they'll just sign all those guys. Who's on the Clutch roster? Let's look this up.
They're going to do Russell Westbrook and the 2027 pick, THT, and Reeves for Bam Adebayo.
Okay.
And then everything's solved.
Here we go. Lonzo Ball. They're obviously not getting Lonzo. Baisley, my God, Baisley. They could have Baisley. I don't know what they're giving up to get Baisley, but I'm not. He's actually been really good for us coming off the bench.
He has.
He'd really help their defense too. He's turned into a tremendous defender. Eric Bledsoe, there you go. He's an old guy who LeBron would probably love. He's 32. He fits the Lakers demographic. They can sign Eric Bledsoe. Who else? We gotta look for guys over 30 because LeBron. Draymond.
Will you stop? I hope this is not,
guys over 30.
Stop letting LeBron play GM. You know what worked out for us? You know why we won a championship 2 years ago? Is because Rob Pelinka put together that team. When you started letting LeBron have input on who you wanted, we got older and older. We got Westbrook, and it's been all downhill since. I'm sick of this. Stop doing this. LeBron is not a good GM. Until he retires and wants to get a team himself, do not let him near personnel moves because he's not very good at it. It's been a law of diminishing returns ever since LeBron has got involved in front office affairs.
Draymond. Okay, here's the trade for you. Here's the trade for you, SP3. You ready? Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins for Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. Who says no?
God, what?
Who says no?
I'm saying no. I'm saying no right now. No, I'm not that big on Andrew Wiggins. I think this is a 1-year mirage. I think we're living in a fever pitch.
You're getting off the Westbrook. I think this is a good trade for the Lakers. I don't think the Warriors do it, but like you get Anthony Davis, that's pretty good. I want to see Westbrook, Clay, and Steph on the same team. I think that would just be a train wreck waiting to happen. And then Anthony Davis is going to be hurt. But come on, that's a great trade.
You want chaos. That's all
I do. I love it. It's great. Come on, that's a great trade.
I ain't doing it.
Draymond, great defender. Andrew Wiggins, very good defender. He's a good defender. What's he shooting from 3? He's better in this spot than Westbrook is.
I mean,
LeBron can have the ball in his hands the entire time. Be good. I love this trade. I'm gonna put it out there on Twitter. Yeah, I don't have enough basketball followers, but
put it on Twitter anyway, just based off names. See what
he's shooting 40% from 3. Andrew Wiggins. He can space the floor. He can play defense. This is a great trade.
I'll do Westbrook and THT for Wiggins.
I mean, I'm
THT and the 2027 pick. I'll throw in the 2027 pick.
THT isn't good, man.
I'll throw in Malik Monk, one of the leading scorers off the bench. I'll throw in Malik Monk.
Westbrook Davis for Wiggins, Draymond. Who says no? All right, just threw that up there on Twitter. Wish I had more basketball followers. That's why I became famous in the basketball circles, but now not as much. Who else is a Rich Paul client who's over 30? Corey Joseph, he's 30.
Oh, so we're only aiming for Rich Paul clients.
Yeah, that's all LeBron wants to play with, just Rich Paul clients. Nurkic is 27. I feel like he was at least 35.
He plays like he's 35.
Yeah. He'd fit the Lakers.
I'll take Nurkic.
He'd fit the Lakers. J.R. Smith, bring him back. Tristan Thompson.
No. I don't want that drama. I don't want that Kardashian drama.
See, John Wall. John Wall's a Rich Paul client. They're going to make this John Wall trade. They 100% are going to make this John Wall trade.
When does his deal expire?
John Wall will be a free agent. Where's his contract information at? I'm on Spot Rack. Oh no, I'm on Real GM. I thought they had contract stuff on here. Jesus, why is stuff so difficult? Me trying to navigate websites is tremendous content. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Spot Rec. This is where I should have gone in the first place. John Wall will be an unrestricted free agent, at the end of next season. So he has a player option this season. So he has a player option coming up. I imagine, much like Westbrook, he opts in. So they're on pretty similar deals. They've both got player options coming up that they're probably going to opt into because no other team is paying them $47 million.
No, that would be the wise decision, is to opt in on that deal. But no, we don't want a different version of Westbrook. I don't want to do that. I'm not with that at all. So I'm not interested in any Rich Paul clients. I'm not interested in LeBron making personnel decisions. Let Rob Pelinka do his thing. He was the agent of Kobe for a reason, man. Come on, he did it. He put the team together after Magic throw dirt on his name, and he put together a championship team. We won the chip, and then you let LeBron into the front office, and it's been chaos ever since.
What's the best Rich Paul team you can come up with? So we've got LeBron, we've got Davis, Draymond, Zach LaVine. That's he's there.
He's my two.
Probably Ben Simmons. A lot of size on that team. Not much.
What point guards he got?
Not much shootings. Point guards. You've got Lonzo. Lonzo's probably the best point guard you're gonna get out of this.
Damn. Yeah. He's probably the best 3-point shooter out of the people you just named too.
Tyrese Maxey, actually. Maxey's good.
Okay.
Yeah, Maxey's good.
Dejounte
Murray. Dejounte Murray's there. Sorry. Okay,
yeah. I think
Miles Bridges. You can actually put together a really good roster with the Rich Paul teams.
Yeah, Rich Paul is the Ari Gold of NBA players, man. He's the lead agent.
Well, we'll get to Entourage here in a second. I want to ask one more hypothetical that my friend and I were going through, and this might hurt you because it's the 2008 Celtics team. Are you taking the 2008? Is a 7-game series? 2008 Celtics. This is the Rondo, Pierce, KG. And Ray Allen.
I know them way too well. They're the team that beat my Lakers in 2008 because Paul Pierce decided to use the bathroom in game 1 when we had the advantage.
Are you taking the 2008 Celtics or the Bucks, the championship Bucks in a 7-game series?
That's a good question. Really good question. I'll probably go with the Celtics. In a 7-game series, it's a 7-game series. It's going down to the stretch because I was gonna say Giannis is just this unstoppable force, but KG, man, KG, he had a little a little bit of his prime left in 2008. So that's at least a challenge for him. That's gonna do at least push him back. Giannis is gonna get his numbers regardless, but KG is gonna at least push him back. And then on the other side of the court, he's gonna get 10 and 10 at the very least. And then you got, and then it's a matchup of basically who do you want, Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, or you want Ray Allen and Paul Pierce? I'll take Ray Allen and Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is a horrible analyst and commentator on basketball, but in 2008, he was a very good scorer, and Ray Allen is one of the best shooters ever. So
I like the Bucks, and I don't. It's not that I dislike this Celtics team. I think Giannis is the best player on the floor. Yes. First off, I think that dude's unstoppable. Middleton and Pierce is probably is close to me. It's close. I don't trust either coach. I really don't. I'd actually lean towards Middleton over Pierce. I'm not a big Paul Pierce fan. I imagine you're not either. No. I'm not high on him. Ray Allen's kind of the difference maker because Rondo and Drew's obviously a better shooter, but like playoff Rondo was a thing back in the day. Great defender. Like that's a very good defensive team. Both teams are really good defensively. I'm not doubting Giannis in that series though. I think he finds a way. I think Kendrick Perkins was like Kendrick Perkins, but he was better than he turned out to be the next couple seasons in OKC and everything. I think that's a team that really just takes advantage of having that old Kendrick Perkins out there. Because you got Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is stretching the floor. You have PJ Tucker as well. Like, let's not that dude was very valuable in the playoffs for Milwaukee. Like he's a difference maker as a defender and a 3-point shooter.
Hey, Celtics had Big Baby coming off the bench.
True. So, this was kind of nice.
Yo, he was nice in those days. And I think that did the 08 team have Nate coming off the bench for Rondo, or was it the 09, 010?
Let me look. You should know they beat your Lakers in the finals.
Man, it's all a blur after Paul Pierce went to use the bathroom. I didn't want to remember any of those games, especially that game 6 where we got marked in Boston, man. That was just that was sad.
They had Trick or Treat Tony Allen. It doesn't look like they had Nate.
But defensively, they have Tony Allen.
Defensively, they were really good.
Come on, yeah. Defensively, I'm taking the Celtics. I do agree with you. Giannis is the best player on the court, but he's probably better defensively than what LeBron was at that time. But I don't think he's better offensively, and LeBron lost in 7 games to the Celtics. So I think it's going to be a 7-game series.
The team is better. Come on now. The team is better.
Oh, of course. Of course. I'm not saying, I'm just comparing the two teams, the best. And Kobe was, I think, offensively and defensively on par with Giannis, and Kobe couldn't beat them. And I think the 08 Lakers would give the Bucks a series. I think the Bucks would win in 7, but they're barely beating that Lakers team, and the Celtics beat them. I'm taking the Celtics.
I can't argue against the Celtics. That was a great team. Bucks in 6. That's my argument. Bucks in 6.
And,
okay.
Oh my God! Thank you. Single blue note. They had White Kobe. They had Scalabrine. Come on,
God.
man. You can't get by Scalabrine and Cassell. One of the top 5 ugliest players in NBA history, Sam Cassell. Come on,
that's mean.
I'm being honest. It was voted. I think I saw that voted. He's not Tyrone Hill, to be fair. So.
I do think he was voted ugliest players. The only thing, Sam Cassell was a very good player. I only remember the Jadakiss line. I think Bucks in Milwaukee because Sam Cassell. That's the line that always sticks out to me.
Yeah,
Jadakiss, top 5 dead or alive. That's just off 1 LP.
I just love the OG Big 3 before Big 3 was a thing. Well, the Celtic Big 3, there was that, but modern era, it was the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks. They used to call their Big 3, the original Big 3 with Ray Allen, Glenn Big Dog Robinson, and Sam Cassell.
How'd that Big 3 work out for them?
They made it to a conference finals against Allen Iverson in 01 when, man, not even my Lakers could get by just sweeping Allen Iverson. One of the greatest NBA finals games of all time.
Yeah. Allen Iverson was a bad dude too. I love that he's actually likes the NBA nowadays, unlike a lot of these people. My friend was telling me that like I saw Tracy McGrady trashing Giannis of like, oh, he wouldn't do well. Who else is trashing?
Yeah. Even Shaq had to tell him like, you're bugging. Like, yo, he was calling Tracy out on a bunch of stuff because Tracy was like, oh, I should have won MVP in 03. He was talking all types of greasy stuff. I was like, is this Tracy McGrady or Scottie Pippen?
Charles Oakley was like Giannis. Look, man, you could put Giannis in any era. That dude was gonna dominate.
Mm-hmm.
He'd probably dominate more in past eras because guys were bigger and stuff, but like he's a freak athlete and he would just get to the rim so much, and like physically he'd be fine. I'm not worried about this guy like not holding up physically or anything, especially in an era where like the 3-ball wasn't as prevalent and everything, and you didn't have spacing and whatnot. Giannis thrives off of no spacing. He's been dealing with no spacing his entire career. Giannis is dominating in an era.
Oh, hell yeah. And then like you have to realize that this league before our eyes has become a big man league again. Like look arguably the top 3 players in the league is Embiid, Giannis, and Jokic. Like that's the 3 big men, and then you got a whole bunch of other guys you can like throw into the mix that could be good or could get better, like Bam Adebayo, Zion if he's ever healthy. There's a whole bunch of guys you can throw into that conversation. So big men is on the renaissance, but people are always going to sleep on whoever is currently in the best player in the world conversation. We did this for years with LeBron. People tend to forget they did this for years with Kobe, and now it's just Giannis' turn. They did this with Steph Curry as well. People still to this day want to deny the greatness of Steph Curry. So it's now Giannis' turn to take that heat.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Giannis is, as good as he certainly is. Steph Curry, he needs a good playoff series for me.
What?
when was Steph Curry good in a playoff series? He needs a good finals, I guess. He's beating up on bad teams. He needs a good finals.
No, he hasn't. Oh, come on. No, you talking Portland now? Yes, but the Portland series.
Portland was overmatched. Portland was overmatched.
They didn't have Clay. I think they didn't have Clay in that series.
I thought Steph was hurt that series.
Nah, they did. I think they didn't have Clay in that. I'm talking about 2019. I think they didn't have Clay in that series. Or no, they didn't have KD in that series.
Oh, they were. Portland was still overmatched. Who gives a fuck if they didn't have KD? They didn't need KD.
They needed KD. He's a part of the team.
They did not need Kevin Durant.
NBA Finals MVP. Of course they needed KD.
Fuck him. They didn't need Kevin Durant. All right.
He's a central figure.
That was a 4-0 series. Portland was only there.
And he dominated.
Portland was only there because they got a terrible Thunder team, and then they lucked out against the Nuggets. And then they got swept by the Warriors because that wasn't a good Portland team. Look, Steph was good. He had 35 plus in every single game. But as far as finals, why hadn't he won Finals MVP?
You said playoffs. You didn't say finals. Now
I meant finals.
If we're talking about finals, I would have gave it to him on the last one the Warriors won. I thought KD had a great game 3 and game 4, but games 1 and 2, I thought Steph Curry was the MVP.
Yeah, it's really tough when you're playing next to Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. And for Kevin Durant, it's really tough when you're playing next to Curry and Klay and Dre. What's Steph doing this season with the supposed no help? He's got Klay, he's got Andrew Wiggins, all-star Andrew. Why can't he do anything this season?
He's doing well.
Steph Curry is the most overrated player in NBA history.
Oh my God! What type of blasphemy are you trying to pull here, sir? What type of shenanigans is going on? Like even with them losing ridiculous games, like he had 16. He He had 21 against the Mavericks. He had 34 against the Timberwolves. He had 27 against the Mavericks before that. 18 against the Trailblazers. Even on a bad night, 18, 14 assists, 5 rebounds. He's filling up the box score. How dare you throw
I'm filling up the box score. Who cares if you're filling up the box? Russell Westbrook filled up the box score for years. Didn't win anything.
My man, he's averaging 25 points on 38% from 3, 6.5 assists, 1 steal, 5 rebounds. Are you kidding me?
I'm just slandering Steph Curry for the fun of it.
I know, and I don't like it. I will not accept
Why?
it.
Wait, when I didn't realize you were such a big Steph Curry fan.
I'm not a big Steph Curry fan. I just respect the man. I think that he is number 2 all time at point guard.
Behind Magic, I assume.
Of course. Yeah. I gotta stay loyal to my Lakers, of course.
Yeah. I can't even I really can't even argue that. I'm not even sure. I mean, I'm always gonna ride for Steve Nash because that's aside from Jordan, that's my favorite player of all time. So I'm always gonna ride for Steve Nash, but I can't even argue that Steph Curry isn't the second best point guard of all time. And if you want to put him over Magic, I wouldn't. But because they do different things, it's even kind of tough to argue. If you want to argue Steph over Magic, there's certainly an argument for it to be made.
The way he changed the game, that's the big thing. Magic did himself at a time, but he did it more for the culture more than anything, more than just on the court changing the game with the way he was playing. This completely became a 3-point shooting league because of Steph Curry. So, and that's why I will always
ruin the game, SP3.
I will always
ruined the game by taking all of these threes.
Ruin, you say ruin, I say revolutionized. So
ruined it. Isn't that the argument? He ruined the game by taking all of these threes. I'm just hot taking on this now. I watched these Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith clips. Did you watch the one? It's Mad Dog Russo and Stephen A. Smith, where they're talking about top 10 guys and stuff. He's like, Bill Russell, you got to take Bill Russell on this. Oh man, so these shows are there's something else.
I gotta start watching those again. You set me down a rabbit hole of watching old Around the Horn clips. I was trying to do my best Woody Page mannerisms during the show because I did an Around the Horn binge before we did Pillar to Post. So I've been watching a bunch of that stuff. So
you gotta watch these hot take shows, man. The stuff Stephen A. and Skip Bayless, and now they got Mad Dog on there. The stuff they just start yelling about is it's high entertainment. So that's what I was going with Steph Curry. I should have committed more to the bit and not just talked in on the bit. At one point, I'll start doing that. I'm just gonna.
So this is a new show, Hot Take.
No. I mean, there is First Take and stuff. I have no idea what these shows are. I think they're just arguing on Sports Center at this point. I just see these clips online and then they just pop me so much. I'm gonna start doing that on the show. I'm gonna really commit to it, and I'm gonna get clipped up, and I'm gonna become famous in NBA circles just with these takes.
That's what we need to do. We devote 50+ minutes to the NBA. We just need people to start clipping us and our opinions. People were coming at me hard for saying that Jokic wasn't in the top 2 MVP. People were saying I said that he sucked, and I never said that.
It's a dangerous game, going down there, because if it's stuff you don't believe, then you've either got to commit to it or you got to let everybody in. If you let everybody in, then of course it loses some notoriety. He's oh, well, this guy's actually faking. I don't know if Skip Bayless believes a lot of stuff that he says, but he's so committed to it at this point that it really doesn't. And same with Stephen A. Smith. They're so committed to it at this point that it doesn't matter. That's how far you have to take it. I tried to commit to a troll account. This is back when I didn't like Chris Paul, when he was on the Rockets and super annoying and shit. I was just this Chris Paul stan account. And I was just going everybody, anybody slandering Chris Paul, I was arguing with them, just tweeting a bunch of Chris Paul hot takes and stuff, just to see how many followers I could get and how much notoriety I could get with this stuff. It's kind of scary how you can just go from 0 followers to a couple hundred just like arguing with people on Twitter and just like yelling these hot take stuff. It really is.
I think the future for FMC is us having a Twitter account where we just put hot take tweets.
Oh, we should fucking do this. We should do this.
Tweets. That's what it's gonna be.
Oh, we're gonna make an FMC Twitter account, and we're just gonna spout off like NBA hot takes on that thing. That's how you gotta get over it. You do hot takes. I mean, we see it. I'll mute myself here in a second, but we see it. I won't say the word. We see it in other genres where people just like they just do like hot takes and fake news and just like clips and stuff, and they got like thousands of followers and shit. And it's like these accounts suck. Like they really suck, but they get all of these followers because people love that shit. Like they absolutely love that shit. That's what we're gonna have to do with FMC. We're just gonna become an NBA hot take account. It's gonna be tremendous.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. We're gonna rob the flames. There'll be some stuff we wanted to put on my own Twitter, but I'm like, I don't really want to get in these NBA forums. Like I follow a bunch of Laker accounts, and them stuff is depressing right now. But I'll be wanting to answer people, but I'll be like, nah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I got kids. I got other things I need to focus on.
Yeah, we won't even like put our Twitter handles like in the account. It'll just be like people won't even know. I mean, once I guess they see the show and stuff, they'll get it. But hopefully people will realize that like it's part parody, but like part not. I don't know. We'll have to figure this out. I'm actually excited to do this. I'm gonna set this Twitter account up, by the way.
I might really like we might really just put like other people's like I'm gonna quote people. Like
oh yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like you gotta like quote tweet accounts, you gotta like reply to accounts and stuff. I've actually wanted to like do this. So like we still have like television to talk about. I wanted to do this last year because like I'll tweet about sports and stuff like the Avs, my hockey team. Like I'll tweet about them, and especially during the playoffs, like I'll get super agitated and stuff if things aren't going well. And so I'll be mad up to like, oh, it'd be cool if like Nathan McKinnon, the best player, like if he showed up and stuff. Like he's not playing bad or anything, but he's not playing like best player in the world. And then like I'll just have like Avs fans and stuff like come at me with this stuff, and I will take it like super personally because I'm like I'm just venting, like I'm just venting on Twitter, and like I don't need that shit on my personal account. So like this, we set this up as almost like a troll venting account where it's like we can just argue with people, but it's easier not to take it personally when it's not like our actual personal accounts behind it. So we're just going to use this account for all of our like sports hot takes, whether it be basketball, football, hockey. People know if it's hockey stuff, I'm tweeting it. But like we'll use it for our venting and our personal hot takes and stuff. So I'm gonna set this up. I'll create a Gmail account and stuff. I'll give you access to it, and we're gonna have our sports hot take account, SV3 and I.
I'm so excited for this. This is like the best news. This is the best news since last week when you said we're doing FMC weekly. So I am here for all of this.
Let's get into the television. We're gonna start with South Park because you DM'd me last night. It was like you gotta watch South Park this week. Like 5 minutes in, my jaw's on the floor. It went there. It's like I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm on EP and I are actually watching Entourage right now. And so I watched South Park after I watched the first two episodes of Entourage. They definitely went there. Here's the thing. I didn't like think they wouldn't go there because it's South Park. Like this is what they do, right? Like they're going to touch on this war. They're going to touch on this stuff because it's South Park. It's what they do. The way they went there, I didn't think it was bad. Maybe they probably could have pushed it further. Honestly, but the fact that the thing with I'm not getting into politics and war and everything, but the big thing of what people are saying is like Putin realizes that or thinks he's like on his last legs, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm just going to start a war and cause chaos because why wouldn't Vladimir Putin do that?" And so that was sort of the theme of the episode is like, we get it, you're old, your dick doesn't work, like you don't have to do this shit, like just face reality.
That was the best ending to it. It was just like, yo, they dead ass was just like, yo, we're gonna call Putin out. We're gonna call it like we see it, like everyone sees it, like we've been seeing on the news. And yeah, like I was like, I did expect them to go there, but the way they went there, like I was confused at first. I was like, I thought Mackie was like a secret like spy or something like that, and then he thinks that the principal's a spy. Like it's a whole bunch of, then it involves like the horse and stuff. So I was very confused at the opening. That's why I had a message job, because when they be like South Park back to the Cold War, and I'm like, they introduced like the horses, the scotches and butters, and I'm like, all right, I gotta hit these guys up because we gotta talk about this tomorrow.
See, the Butters introduction with the horses and stuff, I thought that was hilarious. Where America is just, it's like shitting on itself, and the horse with the horse visual fucking was just something else. By the way, like I thought that stuff was good, and then the Rocky ending where it's like, oh yeah, he knocked him out and everything. Like they're playing off of Rocky with all of that. So I thought they could have pushed it further in that the main four, Stan, Cartman, Kyle Kenny, like weren't featured at all. And they could have really done some shit with those four. And they just decided like it was just a Mackie and Butters centric kind of episode. And Butters is even usually a little bit more, he was very aloof in this, but it was very much a Mackie episode, which was strange, but I sort of get it. I guess Mackie would be kind of Cold War-ish. I thought Garrison could have actually played that role, but they used him in a different role. I didn't mind it. It had some funny moments. Obviously, they would touch on that stuff. It feels like they just left something on the table, though.
Yeah, and I feel like they only did that because they know this thing is just getting started, and with their serial seasons, that it might be something that they bring back up again or make another episode about. If hopefully everything is stops and gets resolved, they're gonna follow this up with another episode. So I do agree with you. They left a little bit on the table for sure, and I wish it was. There's some episodes that I wish were longer, and this was like one of them, because I felt like they could have gone more in depth with everything. I even after the episode, I was like, I don't know if it was good, but it definitely made me think and understand what's going on and pay more attention to it, because South Park connecting everything is always very nice, and it does pop me, and it popped me in the first 5 minutes when I was like, they're really going there. Okay, all right, cool.
I do think you're right in that they might have left some stuff on the table, because there's probably not much end. And look, it's South Park's not afraid of this stuff. It is sometimes tough to make it go comedy. I thought they left stuff on the table with like Putin in general, and this is where maybe they will circle back to this, because there's not much end at some point, or hopefully it does end, but hopefully it ends soon. But it doesn't look like it right now, because like when they do kind of like leaders like this, like we've seen it with Saddam and Osama, like they've done Putin before, but like they really go like over the top with that stuff. And there wasn't much Putin involvement. It was just a lot of like Mackie kind of playing that role. Yes. Yeah. Like he wasn't as prominent as he probably could have been. And I think maybe they will get back to that at some point. Because right now it was just like they've touched on, getting old and mortality and stuff before. I mean, they literally have an episode called "You're Getting Old." And that's one of their best episodes. So like they've touched on this kind of stuff before. So it wasn't shocking for them to go that route. I thought they just could have done more with like the Putin madness of it all. One of my favorite episodes is after the war and everything. The episode I forget. Osama bin Laden has farty pants. One of the best episodes of all time. Fucking love that South Park episode. Like that's where they can really go to a next level as far as like character rising Putin like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they're leaving this open for like another episode to go more in on it and go more over the top with it. I just don't hope it's like a season long thing, because like I really liked the Garrison playing the role of Donald Trump. but that got old after like 3 or 4 episodes.
I mean,
Like
that's because they didn't
it was
expect Trump to win.
yeah, that's also true. But I really liked it when it first happened, and it was just like it was a law of diminishing returns afterwards. And I think they don't expect when things are gonna go longer, but I did think that they left the door open to go back to this.
And I think they will. I want them to just do more. I want them to do more comedy when it comes to Putin at this
Yeah,
point, and maybe they will. The Garrison Trump stuff, like, yeah, that got old very fast. And the fact, like, that's when they were doing serial stuff as well. They're not doing that this season, which is smart. So they can go back to it without like, hey, we're gonna build this entire season around this Russia attacking Ukraine, which would not be good at all.
no, not at all. But yeah, you are right. They kind of have gone back on the kind of serial season because like I'm still waiting for them to follow up on Token's family moving across the street from Integrity Farm. So we're like
Yes.
2 episodes since then, and we haven't really touched on it except for the small, hey, this is Token's house. We're selling it in the last episode.
See, that's definitely where I want them to get back to, because that's still been the best episode of the season to me, and I want that. I want them to go back there, and I'm sure at some point they will. I wish it would happen sooner rather than later. But overall, a good episode of South Park this week, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode and an upgrade from episode 3, which I thought was the weakest so far.
Yeah. All right, Entourage. So we talked a little bit about it past when McCarthy was on, and then you said you were kind of binge watching it a little bit, and I was like, man, I should really rewatch this again. So I messaged you. I said, let's start from the beginning and do like weekly episode reviews of Entourage. Let's do 2 episodes because they're 30 minutes each. We can run through this series rather quickly. So I watched it. I dragged the EP into this. I was like, do you want to watch Entourage with me? She, for her taste, it's like strictly comedy and comedy that she's seen. She's not going to get into a new show unless I drag her into it. And usually it's like trash reality show. Like we're watching Joe Millionaire, we're watching Love is Blind and stuff. Like she'll get into the trash reality stuff. But as far as like new shows, typically not going to get in it unless it's really comedy. I'm like, do you want to watch this? She's like, yeah, I'll give it a chance. I was like, okay. And I was like, you're going to hate everybody on this show. Okay. Like there's not much redeemable qualities with a lot of people on this show.
Yes.
And she's like, well, that doesn't make me feel very good about it. I was like, yeah, like, but here we go. So she watched the first couple episodes with me last night. I have not seen this show in a while. I didn't forget how like Hollywood this show is, but man, some of this stuff just don't age well when they're talking about, like, why don't you just make out with me and then you could blow vents, and like, I've never been to California. I don't know how Hollywood works. Maybe it works like this, but man, they really don't paint women in the best light here on this show.
Especially early on when they're just like they're all over the place, they're just partying, they're living the life like that. Yeah, they don't pay. It didn't age well as far as their like treatment of women and some of the lines that they say as well. But I do like a lot of the different characters here, but mainly for their flaws. So yeah, I do see what you were telling the EP.
I mean, that's fair. Like I think the characters, like they're fine, they're funny, and they're not so much relatable. They're Hollywood big shots and things like that, but they are very flawed, and I think that's good. You don't need perfect characters and everything, but some of them just don't have, like Turtle. Ain't many redeeming qualities about this man in the early seasons. He's just hanging on. He's hanging on to Vince. He's just buying stuff, blowing a bunch of money. He's just trying to fuck everybody that comes around Vince. Drama, like you get the little brother syndrome with him and everything, even though he's the older brother, but you get the less successful brother syndrome with him. Like that, you feel bad for him at times. You feel bad for Eric sometimes. Vince, I don't know if you feel bad for him or you just think like he's kind of an idiot. Maybe a little bit of both. Ari, you don't that man has no redeemable qualities.
I love
Ari. Oh, look, he's great. He's fucking fantastic.
I
okay?
love Ari because he knows he has no redeemable quality, and he accepts it and he flaunts it. He wears it like a badge of honor. He totally understands who he is. Like Eric, especially in the first season, he doesn't really know who he is or what's his role with Vince. So he's kind of like, he's probably the most relatable, especially in the first season, because he's kind of like the fish out of water that's kind of placed into here, because you hear the story that he just came out here 6 months ago. He's especially for me from New York, when he said he's the manager of Sbarro's, I was like, I've been to plenty of Sbarro's. Yeah, he's from New York. I remember the first time I watched this, I was like, yeah, they got the New York there. They threw that in just to pop us New York fans. So yeah, that would be the most relatable. But yeah, Turtle doesn't have a lot of redeemable qualities. He's kind of just a hanger-on. Drama is full of himself, but at the same time, his full of himself is really insecurity and talking about like days gone by and his old past success that is not here anymore. And he's kind of a hanger-on at the same time. So yeah, kind of like the 5 main characters that kind of describes him the best. Like I've always said from like watching the whole season and even in the first season, Vince is probably like the least interesting of the characters, because
I forgot almost like how dumb Vince is. Like legitimate, like Adrian Grenier, bless him, but like I can see why that review in Variety was like, this man has trouble walking and talking at the same time. When they're walking to the studio to meet with the French director and they run into Wahlberg and everything, the way he walks is so grating to me. I was like, how does this man not know how to walk? Like, and the way he talks too, like he does a great job of playing this aloof idiot in the show, like, because like he is coming off as a very much an aloof idiot. Like I really forgot how fucking stupid this man is.
I love how much you're ripping Vince apart. This is great. Yeah, like I said, like I like pretty much all the characters. The character that I dislike the most, especially in the whole entourage, is the face of the entourage. It's Vinny Chase. Like, yeah, there are some like more interesting storylines that they do with him, but none of them make you really like him. Like when they get into like season 2 and he finds his like first main love interest, it's like, how do I like him after this? Like, why? And then in the first season, like he's got this one girl who's I've seen a bunch of like teen.
No spoiler. First 2 episodes.
I'm talking about the first episode.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the girl that comes to the after party after the premiere, the blonde chick, and she's looking for Vince.
They got a different girl in the after party. They love those little pool scenes where everybody gets paired off with a girl. They do this like I feel like 3 times in the first 2 episodes. They do pool scenes where everybody's just paired off with a different girl. It's like, all right, guys, I get it. You got like, come on. You would probably have more people, I would think. I don't know. When they pull after they buy the car and Turtle's like, call 2 friends, follow me. It's like, all right, come on.
Come on.
What are we doing here? Is this how it works? Is this how it works in Hollywood? Is this how it works? By the way, Vincent Chase is in the driver or passenger seat as Turtle's there. The girls like don't even recognize him or anything. Maybe they can't see that far, but they don't even recognize that he's just in the passenger seat. He's this big movie star. He's in this movie with Jessica Alba, which I don't know if it's any good or not. Variety thinks it sucks. The New York Times thinks he's the next Johnny Depp. But
they don't range of reviews.
Yeah, really. They're really like that is a huge range of reviews, right? Like Variety's over here saying this man can't walk and talk at the same time. New York Times is saying he's the next Johnny Depp. What are we doing here? There's no middle ground on those 2 things.
No, there's no middle ground at all on Vinny Chase. You either are going to like him or you're not going to like him just based on the character that you see. But even in some of the reviews and, even as it goes on, it's the same thing. Like, you never know if Vince is an actual good actor. We never
He's
get
not.
that.
I watch him in this show. He's not a good actor. All right? He's not. I can tell you he's not a good actor.
I mean, I would just say that Jeremy Piven is, because I literally to this day don't see anyone but Ari Gold when I see Jeremy Piven.
Oh, the EP thought this was like the Ari Gold show. So when I told her, like, do you want to watch Entourage? She's like, yeah, sure. And then if you watch on HBO Max, they have the pictures for each like episode, and the picture for episode 1 is the 4 of them. You know,
Yeah.
Drama, Vince, Turtle, and E. Like, it's those 4. And she sees that and she's like, what show is this? And I'm like, baby, this is Entourage. And she's like, who are these people? Like, these are the 4 main characters. And she's like, this is not the show I'm thinking of. She goes on IMDb and she goes to Jeremy Piven's IMDb and she's like, is Jeremy Piven in this show? I was like, yeah. She's like, why isn't he on the main photo here? And I'm like, well, he's part of it. He's like essentially the 5th person, but these are the 4 main people. And she's like, I thought he was like the main star of this show. Anytime anybody talks about this show, this is all I know about. It's like Jeremy Piven's in it. I don't know who these guys are. She thought Entourage was a completely different show when she saw this photo. She didn't know these 4. She's like, where's Jeremy Piven? It's his show. It is 100% his show.
Because it goes like 8 seasons, which is really like 9 seasons because there's 2 parts of season 3. But it goes 9 seasons. After like the end of season 2 is literally like the stamp that this is becoming Ari Go's show, and that season 3 starts just him taking over this show slowly but surely. It becomes more about Ari and what's going on in Ari's life than it is going on with the actual entourage, because there's not a lot of interesting things you could do with the entourage, but with Ari being this super agent, you know, running things at this agency, but he's not the owner of the agency. There's a lot of different things you can go about just from that starting point, and they do explore all of that by the end. So yeah, I do understand why most people say this is the Ari Go show featuring the entourage, like Brian said in the chat.
It really, and once like Ari pops up on screen, I was like, see, there he is. And she's like, oh, okay. And then I was like, you're probably not going to like him though. He's great, but like, you're probably not going to like him.
Especially in those first 2. No, the second episode kind of, because we get the one of the most signature catchphrases of Ari Go. Let's hug it out. Check it out, man. I've used that ever since that episode. That's a great line. But in the first episode, he just comes up to Eric like, hey, he's gonna fucking read Matterhorn. Like, he was like, he's an actor. All he's supposed to do is read scripts all day. Like, he can't read a script.
She's asking me. She's like, okay, who are these people? She's like, what do they do? I was like, so Vincent is like the movie star. Drama is like his brother, who's also kind of movie star. Turtle is just like a hanger-on, and E is like sort of his agent. She's like, okay, well, who's Ari? Like, well, he's actually Vincent's agent. She's like, so what does Eric like actually do? It's like, well, he's like his friend who's also an agent. And then once she watched it, she realized how it played out and everything. But she had so many questions about all these things, and she's like, is this all they do? Is they just hang around and they just fuck women and everything? Like the pool scene, especially the scene where the one girl is in the pool with Turtle, and she's like, oh, I'm really hoping to fuck Vince. And Turtle's like, oh, look around. Vince is gone. Like, just make out with me a little bit. I'll give you like Vince's, I'll give you his key or something. And she's just like, that's really nice. That's sweet. Just has no time for this shit.
Like, that's so sweet. Yeah. Such a beautiful moment.
It was condescending as all get out. Yeah, she's like, oh man, these people are. I forgot how many like good cameos and characters there are, and by that I mean like recognizable. So like Leighton Meester is Justine of Gossip Girl fame. You have Smart Armstrong, who is the secretary. She's from the OC. She's big in the OC. Yes. Love that show. I love those 2 shows.
Emily. Oh, you love OC?
Dude, yes.
My heart just grew. That's like one of my all-time favorite soap operas. Oh. Like I absolutely love the OC. Like, me and my mom used to watch that together. Like, I remember it used to come on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Yeah, we'd be in the crib. I'm all day. I talk about Christmas during the holidays. Yes.
All right, OC might be our next.
We might have to add OC to it.
Yeah, That might be our next revenge. We gotta get through Entourage. I can't do too many shows at once.
Yes,
I can't.
yeah.
I don't have enough time to do too many shows at once. But OC might be. Dude, I fucking love OC. So Samari Armstrong is there. You have Ali Larder showing up. Ariel Kebbel is just one of the like pool girls and everything. There's Jessica Alba is herself, but she's there as well. There's like Mark Wahlberg. He's a producer on it, but yeah, like I just forgot how many fucking cameos and just like recognizable faces, whether they're playing themselves or they're playing somebody else, are like throughout this show. But really, the first episode's like, oh fuck, Leighton Meester and Samari Armstrong just randomly showing up. Like, all right, this show, like, some of it doesn't age very well. Still,
but it hits you in the nostalgia. This is
the nostalgia really hits. Still, like really, really good television. And the way, the nostalgia especially, but also just like fun, dumb television.
And it kind of does teach you about like kind of how Hollywood works, because you kind of
I guess
I know when
you were
telling wifey, you said like Eric's kind of like the agent. Well, I learned the difference between a manager and an agent through Entourage. An agent gets you the movie deals. He's the one that gets you on the commercials, the TV shows, whatnot. The manager basically manages your life. That's what Eric does. Like, he's the one that kind of makes sure he gets to the movie set, make sure that, you know, the deal gets done. He's the one that's on top of the agent to make sure the agent's doing their job. Like, I liked how like that dynamic worked, and especially like the first 2 episodes, you kind of see the teething of how it is for Ari to get used to even dealing with a goddamn manager. Like, he doesn't want to deal with Eric at all. But he doesn't want to deal with Eric at all. So I love that dynamic in the first few episodes.
Yeah, Vinny can't even make any decisions. Like, without Eric, got to make all the decisions for him. Vince isn't making any decisions for himself.
I love how the first episode ends. He was like, "I don't know. You decide."
Yeah,
I'm an actor. Let me act. You do the other stuff.
He like going to Vegas. He can't figure out if he wants to go to Vegas with this stuff. Like, he just can't. He can't figure out what he wants to do without Eric making these decisions. And then Ari just like doesn't even want to deal with it. It's like, dude, you've got to figure this shit out. I'm not dealing with Pizza Boy Eric over here with this stuff. Like, you got to do some of this stuff.
Why you keep bringing up the review? Like, don't bring it up. Take him out the car. Maybe to scratch them. Like,
but don't have him buy the car, and if he does buy the car, don't tell the money manager, because I'll fucking murder you.
Yes. You ever say that? You ever talk about me behind my back? I'll murder you.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. that escalated quickly.
He's like, I got ears everywhere. Like, don't talk about me when I'm not in the room. I'll fucking kill you.
I love when Ari gets like that though. It's so hilarious because it's like he goes from 0 to 100 so quick.
It does. It really does. So if you guys want to rewatch Entourage or watch Entourage for the first, your first time with us, we're gonna watch 2 episodes a week. Just kind of, it's gonna be sort of an overarching stuff, but we are gonna try to hone in on things that happen on those 2 episodes as well. Yeah, a lot of nostalgia from this show. I'm looking forward to continuing this trip down memory lane. All right, SVP, you got Degrassi dudes to do here in a couple minutes. Then Maggie, OC.
Oh,
I binged.
It's gonna be an OC roundtable with Maggie.
Oh, hell yeah! I binged the OC a few years ago, and it's still good. It's still like, a lot of nostalgia stuff. Some of it's still but man. But Rachel Bilson, by the way, aces.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge Seth Cohen fan, and Seth and Summer, one of my favorite couples of all time. And man, that like season 1 and 2 are like peak teen drama stuff. Like it falls off season 3, and then we all know what happens at the end of season 3, OC fans, and then season 4 we don't even want to talk about. So it's still a good ride though, nonetheless.
Single Blue No Panda says, thanks for the NBA talk on Friday mornings. Hey, we appreciate you hanging out, buddy. Now you can follow here shortly. You'll be able to follow FMC on Twitter, where we're just gonna spout a bunch of NBA hot takes. I'm just gonna troll people. I'm gonna do vanity searches and be like, all right, who is slandering somebody, and let me like quote tweet and just try to dunk on it. We had to do like stats and stuff, like dumb stats. Like we're gonna build this thing from 0 followers and we're gonna get this thing 1,000 followers by the end of the month. I don't know how, but like we're gonna do it. I'm gonna spend so much of my days just like trying to build this account just with hot takes and slander and just like arguing with people with quote tweets and everything. That's what I'm gonna do. It's going to be a very pointless effort in the EB's going to be like, how do you have this much time? It's like, I don't. I just think it's funny at this point. So I'm going to try to do it. I don't need to listen to another Drew McIntyre interview. All right. I'm sorry.
No, when you're on the bathroom, you get some time to sit down on the toilet and just scroll. That's the best time. That's how I start my morning sometimes. It's just scrolling through social media to start my day while I'm in the bathroom, and then come out and I feel refreshed because I saw all the trash and negativity of social media, and now we get to join in it. Usually I just watch it. Now I get to join in it with the FMC Twitter account.
Yeah, Joel says, Jeremy, you posted 3 articles today. What's going on? Giant Twitter war. Yeah, man, I'm trying to start NBA Twitter wars. All right. 3 articles. Come on now. I definitely do more than that. If I'm down to 3 articles, then something's definitely wrong. SP3, let the people know where they can find you at.
Well, you can see me in about 5 minutes on the Grassy Dudes right here on the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel. So stay tight. You can just stay on the channel and then it's going to pop up. We'll be live in a bit. And of course, at True Hill SP3, all my other stuff are there. I won't have to go through everything.
Check out, support SP3, follow SP3. Check out the Grassy Dudes here coming up on Fightful Overbooked. We also have Coexisting at 3 p.m. Eastern with Rob and Maggie. Everyone check that out. Maggie popping up in the chat here. We love you, Maggie. You can check that out 3 p.m. Eastern right here on Fightful Overbooked. If you haven't already, check out the Pillar to Post show. I thought that was one of the best things we've done here on the channel. I think everybody really had a good time, and I got good feedback on that. So I hope everybody enjoyed that. Yeah, I'm going to try to do that bi-weekly with a roundtable of guests. SP3 is probably going to be a regular on that. So we'll keep doing that.
I told wifey we're gonna have to invest in the marker board. So y'all don't know how much of a big fan I was of Woody Page on Around the Horn. I want to be the Black Woody Page.
He was the best. Yeah. So we're probably gonna be doing that again bi-weekly. I'd like to do and check out all the other stuff we got going on Fightful Overbooked. Check out the Spotlight. Appreciate the support as always. We'll be back next week, burning down the NBA, spouting off hot takes. We're gonna build this thing up through Twitter. It's gonna be tremendous. Bye everybody. Appreciate y'all.